Hello and welcome to another commentary video on the Atrocious TCG channel. My name is Jake, you can call me Atrocious, and today we have the top 4 match of the Aichi Japan One Piece TCG Championships in OP05. You and I are both going to get a little bit more knowledge preparing for Nationals at the end of the month, US Nationals, or maybe we just want to watch some cool gameplay. Glad to have you here with us. Now, the top 4, both purple Luffys advanced into the top 4 from top 8. So it is the number 1 deck right now in the deck distribution, which is what we're showing right here. If you can't read Japanese, this is Luffy right here, the purple Luffy. This is one Sakazuki left in top 4, and then this is one Katakuri. Now, if you enjoy this commentary, or maybe want to see more commentary that we definitely will have in the future, feel free to join the Atrocious Pirates crew. Right now, at the time of this recording, we're like 4 subs away from 1,000. So if you want to help us get to that number, would greatly appreciate it. But enough of the cringe YouTube, I don't even promotion, I guess you can call it. Let's just get into the game. So this video is going to actually be Katakuri versus Sakazuki. So the 2 purple Luffys, we're guaranteed to have a purple Luffy in the final. But for now, we'll see who will face a purple Luffy in the final. Looks like Sakazuki is going first. Katakuri, I feel like personally, in OP05 heading into Nationals, I think Katakuri is actually a really good play. So if you're looking to potentially play Katakuri, you definitely need to know the Sakazuki matchup. So we'll see how this one goes. Looks like Katakuri is thinking about whether or not they want to keep the hand. The Sakazuki is opting to mulligan here. So let's speed it up to where they get to see their hands. Alright, so the Katakuri's hand has a Struzen, 2 7-drop Big Moms, a 10-drop Big Mom, and a 3-drop Perosphero. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Not 100% sure. I'm not there in the anime yet. But anyways, this is an interesting hand indeed. You do have a little bit of turn 2 play. As Katakuri, you can attach 1 Dawn to Katakuri, swing, and then throw down that Perosphero, and then the Sakazuki's hand after that mulligan, 2 Kuzans, 1 brand new, a Borsalino, and a Tashigi. So definitely can't complain too much on a mulligan hand. You do have a Searcher to go for on that second turn, and to be able to find some stuff, and then you got some 4-drops that you can play throughout the game as well. The Kuzan could be really important for getting rid of the big moms, especially the big moms, and maybe some Katakuris as well. But with Sakazuki going first, we know they'll at least do the leader effect on their first turn. So going to be doing that right now. If you're not sure what that is, discard 1 card, draw 1 card. So that's the activate main once per turn on that, and just passing it over to Katakuri. Katakuri now at 2 Dawn, drawing a 200 million volts Amaru, not having anything to play, and just passing it right to Sakazuki. That's some really cool Dawn that the Katakuri player has, actually. So 3 Dawn turn now, going to be swinging 6 at Katakuri, and I'd imagine with the rest of the 2 Dawn throwing down the brand new. So Katakuri thinking about countering with a 6k swing using a 2k counter Struzen to hit 7,000 power, and then Sakazuki just going right in. Look at 3 cards, find a Navy card, put it in your hand, and put the rest in the trash. I do really like this Hina in the Sakazuki list. I've been seeing it more and more at locals. I think it's a really cool card with the on play effect. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, draw 1 card. Very cool for drawing cards, and using the leader effect as well, getting rid of that Tashigi and finding a 7-drop Borsalino. So now Katakuri going into their 4 Dawn turn, going to be attaching 1, like I mentioned earlier, this attach 1, swing for 7, and then dropping the Perosphero. So looks like I couldn't tell exactly what that life was that they looked at, but they opted to put it at the bottom. Could be a Capone Beije. It's pretty typical, or maybe something they don't exactly want to see yet. And so going to be dropping that there. The Sakazuki player did take the leader swing, now going down to 3 life. And so now it'll move into their turn with 5 Dawn. They've got several cards now in hand, a couple Borsalinos, it looks like, some good blockers, the Hina, and well, actually just one Borsalino blocker, two of the 7-drop Borsalinos, and two alternate Surus for the 1-drops. They do have a Houndblaze, so they will be able to put this Pharaoh's Pharaoh at the bottom of the deck. That is kind of the ideal situation. You definitely, if you can avoid it, don't want to proc that on KO effect on the Pharaoh's Pharaoh, which is look at the top 3 cards, I believe, find a Big Mom Pirate and put it in your hand. So going to be swinging 6 at leader, minusing the Pharaoh's Pharaoh to 2 cost, and the Katakuri is going to take it. Looks like they're thinking about a trigger. It looks like it's going to be Charlotte Smoothie. Charlotte Smoothie having the trash 1 card play the card trigger, going to be ditching a Charlotte Linlin 7-drop to be able to play that card. A 5,000 power character, which is pretty good. And then when attacking, it says you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. This character gains 2,000 power during the battle. So you do take a little bit of your own life, but you do get that boost in power, which could really help in the late game if you still have life and trying to swing for games. So Sakazuki now with still 4 Dawn. Looks like they're going to be using 1 Dawn and playing the Suru. I wonder if they're opting to get rid of the Smoothie with the Houndblaze instead of the Pharaoh's Pharaoh. So we'll see. It looks like they're playing the Houndblaze right now, using the power boost onto the Branu, and just like I mentioned, you know, going to be using that Suru on the Smoothie to get it out of there via Houndblaze. So Branu swinging 7 now at life. It is going to be taken, and a Charlotte Pudding. So a draw supporter there for the Katakuri player, not too shabby, and drawing for turn gets another 10-drop Big Mom. So definitely don't want to see a ton of those in your hand until like the late game, so then you can do other things with it. But looking here now, they've got a couple different options. Maybe want to take out this Branu right here, just swinging 5, and it looks like it's going to be a Branu, I'm pretty sure. So it is, and they're going to let that happen, clearing the field a little bit. And so with these 6 Dawn, there's a couple of options that you can do. Going to be swinging 7, looking at their top life, and with the camera angle, we don't exactly know what that life is right there, but it looks like they're thinking about leaving it on top. They do know what that bottom life is because they bottom decked it earlier. So we'll see exactly what happens. And the Sakazuki player is going to take that 7k swing, being a starter deck Hina. Katakuri then going to go into the Charlotte Pudding, look at the top 4 cards, find a Big Mom Pirate or Sanji card, and then put it in your hand, put the rest at the bottom of the deck. It looks like they're going to grab a Thunderbolt. I think that's the alternate art of Thunderbolt. Going to be putting that in their hand. That could be a good card later in the game for an annoying like blocker or something like that, like Rebecca. But going to be resting the rest of the 4 Dawn, playing a Sanji, get a blocker in there. Not many attacking threats outside of the leader, Sakazuki, so they're going to have to commit a good amount of Dawn, which is less characters on the field to get rid of the Sanji. But going into the 7 Dawn turn, what the Katakuri player may not expect is a Borsalino coming down on this turn, potentially. So starting off with the leader effect, ditching the Kuzan and drawing a Rebecca blocker. There's a couple different options that you can do in this one. The Borsalino blocker would, or I'm sorry, the Borsalino 7 cost would get rid of the Sanji blocker if he so opted to play that, but he's also got another Houndblaze. So what he could do is he could swing 5 right here, going to be minusing a character. I'm not 100% sure which one, but swinging 5 at the Pharaoh's Pharaoh, just getting rid of a body. And so the on KO effect that I mentioned earlier comes into play. There's a Pharaoh's Pharaoh, Thunderbolt, and a Pudding. So he's probably going to grab a Pudding, if I had to take a guess, to play that in the upcoming turn. So going to be putting the rest at the bottom of the deck, and with all 7 Dawn left, On the Sakazuki side, there's a couple different options. You could play Hina and Houndblaze, maybe think about potentially attacking with Suru, I would say, but going to be opting to just use Borsalino, go a little bit slower, I guess you could say, in bottom decking that Sanji. So probably saving the Houndblaze for more something like a Big Mom, because this is the 8 Dawn turn. There is a possibility, and we obviously know because we've seen the Katakuri's hand, that the 7-draw Big Mom could come down this turn, but it looks like they are playing that right here. So on play, your opponent chooses whether the Katakuri player gets a life or the Sakazuki player loses a life, and this is kind of an interesting spot too, because it's pretty even, I will say, but going to be opting to take their own life, and it's going to be a great eruption off of that, which is honestly a trigger that is not too bad, because that trigger forces your opponent to discard a card from their hand. So could be worse, I guess, but they'll just have to make do at this point. And then the Katakuri swinging 7 then with that final Dawn, going to be swinging at life, and or I'm sorry, showed it to their they are swinging at life. They showed it to their opponent. The Katakuri player was wondering what that card was, and so they obviously decided to leave it there because there's only 1 life left. That is both the top and the bottom. So 9 Dawn turn coming now for Sakazuki. Obviously want to get rid of that Big Mom. Got a couple different options. You've got the Hina, which on play minuses 4 to a cost of a character, and so you could be able, if you decide to use the leader effect, to trash that Hina. That Hina is the one that draws a card. So I honestly maybe would have expected the other Hina to combo with the Rebecca potentially, but we'll see exactly how they're going to play this out. Swinging 6 right now at leader, minusing what I assume is the Charlotte Linlin. 7 cost right there, making it a 6 cost character. And so opponent now really deciding what they want to do. Don't have too much counter outside of the Charlotte Pudding, so they're just going to take this, and I believe they left this card on top in a previous turn, so they know what it is, and they're thinking about what they want a trigger to be. It looks like it might potentially be a character on play, and it looked like it was the promo Zoro. So I believe that trigger on the Zoros K up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or lower characters, so not really any of value there, so better to just go in your hand because it is a counter card as well. And so after swinging that Borsalino now into the Katakuri, they're going to be taking another life here and another potential trigger on the works. So we'll see what happens. There is still quick math, 8 Dawn left on the Sakazuki side, and it's going to be 200 million volts Amaru. 200 million volts Amaru with another trigger, this one being trash 2 cards from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. So definitely the Katakuri player looking to play that. Trashed a couple cards, that Zoro promo, and I think a 10-drop Big Mom what was discarded also. So looking to rest 4 now, going to be playing that Rebecca, and let's see, they do get to bring back a 3 to 5 cost character into their hand and then play down for free a 3 or less character. So going to be playing that Hina that they had in hand to put that Charlotte Linlin to 2 cost, and then using the Rob Lucci that they pulled from the trash with the rest of the 4 Dawn to combo with Lucci's effect of KOing a 2 cost and a 1 cost character to clear the entire field. Now with a blocker on the field, even a Gadatsu can't get rid of the Rebecca. The only thing that could is a Thunderbolt, which would be a penalty to their own life, and with a board state that Sakazuki has right now, I don't know if you want to be taking your own life at this point. So 10 full Dawn now. We'll see what they decide to do. There is that 10-drop Big Mom, but they haven't really played too. I mean, they only have 4 cards in hand, so you're probably not super worried about the Big Mom going away. So playing that instantly, putting the Sakazuki now at 0 life, going to be throwing down that Katakuri for 5,000 power at Sakazuki. Obviously, they got a counter out of it or use the blocker. They do have that blocker Borsalino there, and it looks like they are going to pitch it. If you're Sakazuki, you're kind of on the ropes at this point. I mean, you can get rid of the 7-drop Big Mom, but you can only do the blocking for so long if you don't have blocker. But Great Eruption is a great start for this deck to be able to get rid of this Big Mom and really swing this game. Minusing 2 cost on a character and drawing 1 card is a good start. Puts that Big Mom to 8, and then the Hina making it to 4, and then the Sakazuki attack making it to 3. Now that combination of things would not actually suffice though with getting rid of the Big Mom unless the Great Eruption did draw something else, because Houndblaze is a cost 2 or less. So right now, looking at this hand, they can only get Big Mom to 3, but you never know off of both Leader Effect and Great Eruption. That's 2 extra cards you're gonna see, and especially with Extra Dawn, you've got an opportunity to potentially get rid of it. So if you're asking me, I think you always Great Eruption first because you draw a card, and then depending on what you draw, you either use the Sakazuki Leader Effect to trash a Houndblaze or whatever the card is that you drew for that Great Eruption. So going to be starting off with swinging at life, going to be putting that Big Mom Lin to 9 cost, and so that 5, it looks like it's going to be countered out by the pudding. No real use for the pudding at this point if you're the Katakuri. And so now we'll see exactly what they do. I'm curious to know if the Sakazuki player is going to use Leader Effect first or the Great Eruption first, because I definitely think you need to play the Hina down over the Suru to do the minusing, but I don't know if I want to full-on commit to it, but maybe you do full-on commit to it at this point, at this stage of the game. So going to be looking around. I think that's the Great Eruption and the Houndblaze, and then that 4 that they just adjusted up top is Hina. So in 3 Dawn left, what can help you get that Big Mom out? Another Great Eruption could be a good one. I'm trying to think of what else. Another Hina, actually, because Hina costs 3. You could just play another one, and that would suffice. Play a Hina over a Hina. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the sequence is in terms of use Leader Effect first or the Great Eruption. Let me know down in the comments what you actually think the best decision is before he actually makes the play. I think he's leaning towards using the Great Eruption first, but going to be swinging first with these cards that he's got, the Hina, the Rob Lucci, and the Borsalino. Going to be taking that life, and it's going to be a 7-drop Big Mom. That's potentially another life. Actually, that is another life in the next turn because your opponent can't take any more life from that. So going to be thinking about what they want to do next. I'd be curious to see if they swung Hina or Borsalino first before they did this sequence because of going to be attaching the 2 to Hina. Okay, so swinging 7 at leader now at this point. That's kind of surprising, but maybe they're going for game at this point. Are they going for game at this point? So there's a trigger here. This was the no, this wasn't the life that was put on by Big Mom. Is it a Capone? They're showing Capone right here. It's a 200 million volts Amaru. So another life is coming down. This is the second 200 million volts Amaru trigger off the top of the deck. So pretty crazy sequence that happened right now. And if you're this Sakazuki player, to get rid of the Big Mom, you have to Great Eruption, right? we'll see exactly how this goes. I'm really curious to see how they play this forward. Going to be using Great Eruption first before the leader effect. Drawing a card. It's an Ice Age, and Ice Age is going to do it. Oh my gosh, the Ice Age is huge for your math, because Ice Age is an event card that minuses the cost of a character by 5. And so with the Great Eruption and the Sakazuki swing, that would put the Big Mom at 3. So that's excellent. You can play the Hina down. That is going to put it at the, oh my gosh, Ice Age was a perfect card to get because they attached the 2 Dawn. That is all 10 Dawn going to be used there. And your Rebecca is still alive. That was huge draw, actually. So going to be using leader effect. Going to be trashing the Hina. So they're at 8 right now, right? No. Yeah, no, they're at 7. So actually the Ice Age will put them at 2. So getting rid of the Hina is actually beneficial in this instance. I guess I don't mind that too much. A little scary though. Probably just trying to get some counter card on there in case there's like a Rush Enel that comes down. So going to be minusing 5. The Big Mom now at, oh my gosh, I'm doing math. So there was the Sakazuki swing, that was at 9. The Great Eruption was 2, so that was 7. The Ice Age made it to 2, and so now using Houndblaze over on what I believe is Borsalino, going to be bottom decking that Big Mom. That was a huge draw by our player, and going to pass the turn. Did he just pass? I think he just passed without swinging with Borsalino. Maybe just trying to whittle away at the Katakuri and going to be opting to use Thunderbolt to get rid of the Rebecca. And so you just attach. What do you do? Wait, you don't have any more blockers, right? Going to be using 200 million volts Amaru, resting the Suru, and getting a power boost because it is 2 Dawn and paying 3. And so the Katakuri player is going to win right there. Oh my goodness. Wow, absolutely excellent job by this Katakuri player. I did not expect Katakuri to really just pull that off there, but I guess I was so focused on Sakazuki and how they could get rid of Big Mom, I did not recognize the cards that the Katakuri player had in their hand. Excellent, excellent, excellent job. So that knocks out Sakazuki from this tournament now, and Katakuri will move on to the finals, facing off against one of the 2 purple Luffys that will be advancing into the finals. So very, very exciting stuff. I will see, especially if you're a Katakuri fan. Again, I think Katakuri is a pretty good play for Nationals. I will stay on this hill. I don't know if I'll die on it, but at least I'll hang out here and maybe argue with you a little bit. But thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like this commentary and maybe want to see more, feel free to subscribe and join the Atrocious Pirates crew. We would be happy to have you as we are aiming to reach 1,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, I actually just refreshed my my dashboard to get the specific number of subscribers, and we're officially at 1,000 subscribers. So by the time I finished recording this, we hit 1,000. So if you helped us get there in the future, thank you so much. We super appreciate it, and thank you super appreciate it, and have a great rest of the day. Thank you for watching, and see you later.